Have you ever heard of the Anunnaki? These ancient beings from Mesopotamian mythology have been the subject of much fascination and debate in recent years. But what if I told you that some people believe the Anunnaki were real and may have actually played a role in human history? According to this theory, the Anunnaki were a group of extraterrestrial beings who came to Earth thousands of years ago. They were said to be highly advanced, possessing knowledge and technology far beyond anything humans of that time could comprehend. But what did they want with us? Some believe that the Anunnaki were responsible for creating humanity, using genetic engineering to create a hybrid race of humans and their own species. Others believe they simply visited Earth to mine for resources, and may have even taught ancient civilizations like the Sumerians advanced techniques like agriculture and metalworking. While there is no concrete evidence to support the existence of the Anunnaki, their legend has persisted for centuries. Whether they were real or simply a myth, their story continues to captivate and inspire those who seek to understand the mysteries of our past.
Oh man, are you ready for this one? I don't think you're ready for this. Let's talk about the Pleiadians. So the Pleiadian aliens are a benevolent species of extraterrestrials that do visit Earth quite frequently, and they look similar to humans actually, but they're 6 to 14 feet tall. These guys are very peaceful, they love humans, and they're transmitting messages through human channels to help us bring our world to world peace. And a lot of people asked in my last video about the Arcturians about why alien species don't just land here and fix all of our earthly problems. And the answer to this is because if you watch the movie Star Trek, the prime directive, right, that is basically there's no interference with other worlds, you know, and that's exactly what we have in our galaxy here. There's benevolent aliens, there's negative aliens that have negative agendas, but they have a prime directive, which is a law that they created where they can't interfere with human affairs in any way. So even though they want to help us evolve, they can't necessarily just land here overnight and, you know, tell us exactly what to do in order to reach, you know, their level of consciousness. They can only help push us in the right direction by sending us telepathic messages, you know, maybe abducting us one at a time and giving us, you know, downloads of information through our consciousness. So they're kind of healing our planet from the inside out, which is really cool. And there's a lot of humans who actually channel these Pleiadians, but this lady in particular channels a Pleiadian named Satya, who says that Pleiadians are enlightened beings who believe that the end of the Mayan calendar will signal a critical leap in human evolution. The Pleiadians will be there to guide us for that leap, and that's happening right here and right now. So it's super exciting. These Pleiadians have been around for a long time. Some people believe even as long as the ancient Egyptian times. But during the 1950s, many contactees, especially those in Europe, claimed encounters with the beings fitting the description of these Pleiadian Nordic-looking like aliens.
See, let me explain why the Pleiadians are nothing but a bunch of scammers. You see, this is why the Pleiadians are white. Because someone above them decided that it was a great idea to rip the melanin out of the human species, which is a horrible idea. But somewhere along the line, someone tried to play God and create a species or a race that is white, and it's the Pleiadians. And without melanin, you're no longer magnetic, you're an electrical based, your DNA is electrical based or electromagnetic based. You're not a magnetic being. So naturally, the Pleiadians, they run pyramidal flows of energy. That's why the pyramids are so important to the Pleiadians and to the Anu, because the pyramids change the flow of a magnetic energy to electromagnetic energy. Anything with pyramid got sharp edges. And anything that's sharp-edged or a pyramidal flow of energy can be akin to the Merkaba. And the Merkaba is also sharp-edged. So something that's sharp-edged in energy flow is meant to go in magnetic creations, which are rotational energy flow, and completely fuck up any forms of magnetism within the creation itself. So the Pleiadians will appear as love and light, because that's what the white skin is for, to literally be the false light. And they will appear with some plan to save humanity or some plan to save their own slaves that they created, because the Pleiadians, just like their slave masters, they create and edit DNA too and try to create subservient humans and a subservient race, which is pretty much 80% of a fucking America. But the Pleiadians are nothing but electrical-based beings who, just like technology, they need technology to thrive. They need electronics, electricity to thrive in magnetic creations. And so just like electricity requires money to run and resources and fuel from the earth to run, the Pleiadians will always be money-based or slave-based mentality. And so Pleiadians are the universe's greatest scammers. They go to creation. Their main signature is to look into other cultures' business and look for a way to either ruin it and save them, or just look for a way to introduce some type of quick way to save them so they can owe them in return, or owe them something insane, or some insane type of interest in the end. And that interest ain't always money. Sometimes it's your fucking soul. The Pleiadians are business people, just like Zeus. The Greek god Zeus was a businessman. He took all the minerals underneath the ice caps when he was the Greek god and sold them to his planetary system for money. And that's why the first ice age even happened over time, was because the fucking Greek gods was taking gold and minerals from our planet, which our planet needed it to keep it magnetic, and they sold it to their planet. And made this planet more electromagnetic in return with all this technology and all these pyramids and all these forms of weather manipulation and shit. The Pleiadians are fucking scammers, and y'all gotta stop falling for these fucking scams. Everything from science to religion to just the belief in a single God, that there's only one God outside the universe. Like, all this is based or rooted to Pleiadians and how they work to manipulate minds and create them to be subservient slaves. Anything that's got to do with the Pleiadians in any way is bullshit, and stay the fuck away from them. Yeah, so look, basically, man, these reptilians, they using us, they playing us like video games, all right? We are the characters in the video game that they're playing, right outside of this realm, right, like hovering over the firmament. Like, this is where they're at in a dimension we can't see them, right? And they're so obsessed with our low vibrational states that, like, that's how they play the game. They look for characters to hop into and remote view. You feel what I'm saying? And what's needed is the electrical grid. Without the electrical grid, they have no game to play. They have no avatars to hop into and control and try to see whose technology is the best. And see, reptilians, they can't evolve. They can't leave this realm. This realm is in a black hole, and the reptilians don't want to leave this realm because they have found their joy. They have found their spiritual purpose, which is technology. All they want to do is see how good their technology is. How long can they steal energy from low-level humans before anyone notices? And as soon as we notice and kick them out, they're going to leave. They're going to dip up out of here, but they're not going to die. They're going to go do the same shit to another planet. You know what I'm saying? But this is just the era that we in with these reptilians. This is how they play us. This is how they get into our body. They're not doing it really for any other reason than just to show off, or just to experiment more with technology and how to extract energy, how to extract chi. Because our energy and our chi is what fuels their technology. And so they need us, you know what I'm saying, to keep running their experiments so they can keep learning about their own technology and how to keep raping humans, basically, of their energy and shit. So, like, I don't know if y'all was ever in the Xbox 360 back then, but they used to have Halo tournaments, Halo 3 tournaments, and it'll be the nerdiest motherfuckers who take that game so serious. Like, I go back and watch them old tournaments and just try to observe their state of consciousness, and it's really similar to how serious reptilians and gray aliens take technology and running humans. Like, it's like a tournament, it's a game, and they're playing us. We're characters, bro. So when you are depressed, when you're in a low vibrational state and you feel tugs at your energy, tugs at your astral field, at your, you know what I'm saying, your overall energy, that's a lizard playing with you, bro. That's a lizard trying to see if you'll fall for his breadcrumbs, or if you'll follow his trail of breadcrumbs and go on down a certain way of thinking, a certain matrix thought form, matrix system of thinking. But yeah, that's just me, man. I ain't gonna believe shit I say, you know what I'm saying?
Yes, that man said the Pleiadians are scammers. The whole world has scammed you. But anyway, peace to the guys and goddesses. Welcome back to all of you high vibrating individuals. We're about to get into it. So from the introduction, you should have a little insight on who the Anunnaki guys and goddesses was. And there's a lot of stories being depicted out here in the world. A lot of those stories are not giving credit to the carbonated beings, the ones with the newer melanin, the dark pigment. They don't want to give us full credit, so they give us all these titles. They reclassified as Native Americans and indigenous people. But who were the Anunnaki? Let's get into it. First off, let's get some understanding on the different types of species that roam this earth. The difference between the 6 ethers and the 9 ethers. Understand me, family? This is your simple breakdown. And note that the Black and Latinos are called the 9 ether people of today, and they are labeled as black extraterrestrials in the FBI and CIA files. And the 6 ethers are your Caucasians, synthetic Asians, Arabs, Mexicans, and Dravidians, etc. So now that we got that out the way, family, we must note that your Black and Latinos are direct descendants of the Anunnaki. So who was the Anunnaki? They were the first people to ever roam this round we call Earth today. The first people on the planet that started all this shit. Yes, they were the Anunnaki, descendants of An and Ka, the god of the heavens and the goddess of earth. So pay attention to that goddess of earth, y'all. The goddess of earth. Her name was Planet Ka, in which we roam today, which we live on today. They call it Mother Earth, call it Mother Nature. Planet Ka, she's a living deity. And we carbonated people were here first before these 6 ethers came here through portals. And another one of the reasons Zeus created these 6 ether beings is because he wanted someone to worship him. He got tired of just worshiping himself. He wanted his own creation of people to worship him and nobody outside of him, for he was a jealous God. Now, don't that sound familiar? Yeah, it do sound familiar. And you see, back then, we never worshiped anything outside of ourselves. So we worship self, our loved ones, and anything that we created. And we gave honor to our ancestors. But Zeus, a.k.a. Satan, went renegade. He did his own thing, so he created his own selection of people and made them slaves. So they prayed to him. And the only reason we didn't pray to anything outside of ourselves is because there's no power higher than us. We are the source. You see, Zeus was like a scientist and a master of tricks. He understands the concept of divide and conquer, so that's why he split us up and gave us different titles and names since the beginning. He also gave himself different names. You had Prime, Zeus, Satan, Marduk, Enki, Odin. All of these are the same dude, the same motherfucker. These motherfuckers even look alike. And Lucifer, that's a whole different motherfucker. So do your research and understand the differences. So Zeus created this 6 ether being race on the planet Nern. His intent was to create them to serve, worship, and fear him. Fear of God. He created them through animal genetic slicing, though. Remember when you used to hear your kinfolk say, them people smell like wet dogs? This is where you get that from. Yep, I am not crazy. And you remember you used to hear those stories of when your people say, them folks used to have tails? Yeah, I remember hearing them folks used to have tails. Come on, y'all. We just connecting the dots and building. These were Zeus, a.k.a. Satan creations. So yes, family, Zeus was our brother, a jealous and abusive God. The way he treated these 6 ether species is told throughout the Bible. Go read it at your own risk, family. So now this ties into when your so-called fallen angels or gods left from the cosmos to seek a new planet. This was Planet Ka, or what they call Mother Earth today. So they came to this planet for the resources, and gold was one of the primary resources. And with everything going on, that's when Zeus came up with the idea to use his 6 ether creations to help him mine the resources of Planet Ka. But then these fallen gods, they separated. But Satan stayed on planet Nern, and the rest of the gods that sided with him went to take on new identities as the draconian reptilians and Pleiadians, and it's been war ever since. But note that there are good and bad reptilians and Pleiadians out there. It's always duality, yin and yang. But you see, even some of Zeus' six ether creations would soon turn on him and form an alliance with the other fallen gods, or draconian reptilians and Pleiadians, etc. They promised these six ethers that if they serve them and help them, they reward them with this land on planet Ka. Plus, they'll get to utilize the bodies of the Anunnaki gods and goddesses. Because they understand that these six ethers lack the neuromelanin, even the crossbreeds. They just got to help the Draconians and Pleiadians take over the land. This is where your hierarchy kings and queens come in at. So family, always remember that we are carbonated Anunnaki gods and goddesses. We were already here on Earth creating and designing our infrastructure when these six ether beings came here through the portals in the Caucasus Mountains. We seen them as silly, slow cavemen with tails because they lacked, simple common sense. They couldn't even walk. We had to teach them how to walk. But we understood that this was our brother Zeus' creations. So we had to genetically re-engineer them and teach them how to do everything under the sun. And before they even got the chance to trick us into this spell of today, remember they had the help of our very own. You feel me? They cannot destroy what they did not create. So pay attention, man. Pay attention to the hidden hand. Peace to all the gods and goddesses.
This was originally a reptilian-dominated planet. There was a disaster on Mars. The humanoid forms took refuge on the surface of the Earth, and these guys have been at war against each other for a long time. The reptilian humanoids, they're from the Earth's natural evolution. They're physical in form. Some of the more primitive ones live near the surface, and the other more intelligent and larger population groups are underground. There's other reptilian humanoids that also seem to be coming from another dimension.
Let's talk about reptilians. Shape-shifting lizard people that are apparently here to take over our planet. What if I told you that there's actual historical evidence to back up this extreme claim? Human cultures from around the world have always talked about reptile people from the stars who could shapeshift. Every continent has some sort of story or artifact related to reptilians. Even people who have worked in the government have come out and said that reptilians are real, including the previous defense minister of Canada. This is a high-ranking government official we're talking about. First, we need to understand that the word reptilian is a blanket term for the reptilian genome. There are many types of species with this genome. The negative reptilians have polarized to darkness, which means that they believe in complete service to self. This also means that the highest density or dimension they could go to is the astral realm. If they wanted to go any higher, they would have to leave darkness behind completely. Their agenda is to take over as much of the universe as possible to grow their empire. They stop at nothing, even while knowing that they're being watched by higher vibrational beings. Now this is how they take over planets. They will infiltrate planets from the inside, bring in darkness, and cause a planetary collapse, which will cause them to be in power. From here, they do as they please and they run a civilization based off of pure fear. This is where you get allegations of reptilians taking over Earth, and this is apparently a real-life picture of one caught on camera at a seminar. At the top of their hierarchy system are 15-foot-tall beings called the Dragon Dracs, who run the Orion Empire. They think that they're dragon gods of the universe, which is why they want to take it all over and have it all under their power. They program all their technology with dark consciousness and evil intent. But not all reptilians are negative, just like not all humans are negative. The negative faction is actually really small compared to the entirety of their genome. For example, the reptilians from the Lacerta constellation are high vibrational and very enlightened. But the reptilians from Alpha Draconis are low vibrational and are considered dangerous to younger civilizations. Never forget how diverse and grand the universe really is. The amount of beings out there is almost unfathomable. I'm actually curious on what you guys think about this picture. Like, it really could be real, and sometimes I look at it and I'm like this really could be, bruh. What if we were genuinely looking at a real reptilian caught on camera right now? Dog, I don't know, yo.
Welcome to the other side. You want to talk about connections? These reptiles literally have blue blood.
This is incredible. I can't believe who's secretly a reptoid. Anderson Cooper? Taylor Swift?
So the song Shake It Off was about how I shed my skin every 1,000 years. And the song Bad Blood was about how I drink blood out of my Grammys.
A toast to blood! Save some blood for Paul Rudd.
So that's why Paul Rudd never ages.